Hello, welcome. Thanks so much for tuning in. Today I thought I'd share with you all a little bit of a sequence that you can do if you're spending a lot more time seated or taking a lot of repetitive movements like hunching forward on your devices, which we all are. So this is a really wonderful practice if you're working from home or even if you're not working from home. We all could use a little bit more of opening in our hips, a little bit in our shoulders, in our neck. This is where we tend to hold a lot of stress and tension. So for this practice, you don't even need a yoga mat. All you need is about 10 to 15 minutes to take a little break to create a little bit more opening and length in your body. So let's get started. Come to standing. Have your feet about hip width distance apart. Just allow your arms to rest at your sides with your shoulders soft. And if it feels okay today, you can soften or close your eyes, or you can place your vision on one unmoving point in front of you. So this is our Tadasana, also known as mountain pose. And in yoga, we use this as a foundation for majority of our postures, especially standing. So I'd like you to start shifting your weight towards your heels and then towards your toes. Bring the weight now into the inner lines of your feet, and the lateral, the outer portions of your feet. Lift your toes up and then down a few times. We'll come to stillness. Just memorize the sensation in your feet as you distribute the weight evenly here. Let your knees be soft. No need to hold or contract any muscles. We're just coming to this feeling of groundedness. As you inhale, if your eyes are closed, you can start to blink your eyes open as you sweep your arms out wide. Lift your arms up towards the sky, and as you exhale, start to bow forward as you hinge at the hips. You can have your arms spread out wide or closer together for this. And you'll just allow your head to hang heavy here, still keeping the bend in your knees. Press into your feet as you slowly roll up vertebrae by vertebrae. Let your shoulders, your neck, and your head be the last to arrive. Let the movement be very slow here. You're just noticing how your body feels. And we'll take a couple more breaths like this. Inhale, deep bend in the knees, sweep your arms out to the sides. Gaze up as you reach up nice and tall, and as you exhale, bow forward towards the earth. Let your head hang heavy for a breath. You'll press into your feet, again slowly rolling up to come back into your mountain pose. One more breath like this. Inhale to sweep your arms out wide, up towards the sky. And as you exhale, bow forward towards the earth. This time, you'll stay here for a few extra breaths. You might sway your upper body from side to side. You can even grab a hold of opposite elbows behind your head here. You're just coming to awareness of how the backs of your legs feel today. Just allow your arms to release back down. You'll press into the feet as you slowly roll all the way back up to stand. Shrug your shoulders up towards your ears as you inhale, and as you exhale, release them back and down. Do a couple of neck rolls now. So you're still staying rooted in your feet as you'll draw your chin in towards your chest. You'll bring your right ear towards your right shoulder, and you'll take your left arm out to the side. Now this movement can be very subtle. Your arm might be here, it can be lifted up higher, maybe midway. You can even reach up towards shoulder height, but just play around with the different variations and just notice if you feel any sort of sensation in the shoulder. Really want to feel it in the neck. This is where a lot of us tend to hold a lot of tension and stress because a lot of us are spending a lot more time on our devices, tilting our head and our neck forward. So we're just allowing the breath to move along into this space. Now for a deeper stretch, you can take your right palm to rest on your head alongside your left ear. And as you exhale, Gently, gently press down. So you'll take a few breaths in this position. Inhale, as you exhale, maybe gently pressing down. Slowly release your head, bring your arm back to your sides, head back to center. And move to the other side, chin in towards your chest again. This time your left ear towards your left shoulder. You'll take your right arm off to the side. And again, your arm variation of choice. You can also take your left hand alongside your right ear. And again, taking gentle presses as you exhale. Slowly make your way back to center, release anything you're holding on to, bring your arms to the sides. Now spread your arms out wide, reach your fingertips in opposite directions here. Now you want to still keep the shoulders relaxed, but your arms are still active, so even though you're reaching for opposite directions here, notice how creating space in the chest as your shoulders begin to separate and pull away from each other. You can start to flex your wrists so that the fingers point down towards the earth. We're bringing attention now to our wrists, and this is a really great practice if you are spending a lot more time on your computers or on your phones. And you start to extend your wrists by lifting the fingers now to face up towards the sky. So they're pointing up towards the sky. And just imagine you're trying to press something away from your body. So you're creating a little bit of resistance here. And this might feel like a very intense stretch for the wrist. Now, if this is too much, you can always just give your wrists a little break by resting your arms at your side and then just giving them a little shake. And then whenever you're ready, you can try it again by extending your arms out long and then extending the wrist so that the fingers point up. Now moving on to the next stretch, I want you to make little fists with your hands, and then you'll create little circles with the wrists. So you can move clockwise, counterclockwise for a few breaths. If your arms ever need a little break, you can always bring them back down, and then come back up whenever you're ready. Eventually bring your arms back down. Sweep your arms all the way up towards the sky. We're going to move into this pose called a side bend. Now for today, I'd like you to have your arms separated so that they're about shoulder width distance apart, a little bit tall. So I'll step back a little bit so we can all see. You'll grab a hold of your left wrist with your right hand. So it looks something like this. You'll still have your arms up overhead. Still root down with your feet here, and you're creating this line of rooting and then lifting with your upper body through the crown. So inhale to lift up, and as you exhale, you'll reach over to the right, and your hips will start to move in the opposite direction. You want to contain the abdominal muscles here to allow you to protect your lower back. And as you inhale, use those micro movements to create that lift with your arms. And as you exhale, root down with your feet. Make your way back to center. Release your arms. This time grab a hold of your right wrist with your left hand. So they look something like this. Inhales to lift up, but release your shoulders down. And then as you exhale, come over towards the left side. Now, throughout our day, most of us don't spend too much time on breathing into our side body. So this is a really great exercise to bring attention to our intercostals. So that's the area where the ribs are. And you'll start to notice how we create more space, a sense of spaciousness on our side body. And then all of a sudden we can start to feel like we're sitting and standing up taller. So we'll do one more on each side. Grab a hold of your left wrist again with your right hand. Inhales as you lift, and then as you exhale, reach over to the right. Now you want to keep your breath slow and steady here. And rather than crunching over to one side, we want to focus less on coming down in the depth. We want to create that lifting up and over like a crescent moon shape. Inhale, come back to center. As you exhale, grab a hold of your right wrist and then come over to the left. Pay attention to your breath, rooting in your feet here. And slowly rise all the way back to center. Bring your arms back down. Give your arms a little shake. And for this next posture, you place your hands on your hips. Bring your weight into your right foot. You're going to lift your left leg up towards your hip height. And then you'll swing the left leg over to the left side. So you're creating a figure 4 shape with the legs. You want to flex the left foot and then place the left ankle on top of the right thigh. Now you can use your hand if you need to help you here. And whenever you're ready, you'll start to sit your hips back and down. You're still pointing the tailbone down towards the earth here. And then it's really important to keep the foot flexed. Now you want to also press the left knee away from your body, so press it down towards the earth. And then you should start to feel a gentle opening in your hip flexor. Now, if you need to readjust, feel free. You can always come up and then come back down to your figure 4 position. And if it helps you to counterbalance, stabilizing the hips, you can sweep your arms out in front of you. Interlace your hands for a little extra wrist stretch, or just simply have your hands in front. If you need to still keep a hold of the ankle, you can feel free to do that. Keep your breath slow and steady, and your gaze on one unmoving point. And then slowly press into the standing foot, rise all the way back up to stand. Give your legs a little shake. We'll move to the other side. This time place your weight into your left foot. Take a bend in your right leg. Bring the foot up towards your hip height. Figure 4 shape with the legs here. Again, we flex the foot to protect the knee. And really think about drawing the knee away from your body as you start to sit your hips back and down. Now, this action in the hips might be very subtle here, and there might be some wiggles, which is totally normal. We're just also testing out our balance here. So we're bringing that external rotation of the hips. Steady breath. Press into the standing leg rise all the way up. Give your legs a little shake here. We'll take our feet now pretty wide apart. Have your toes face forward, hands on your hips. So lift up through the crown of your head, and as you exhale, start to hinge at the hips, coming into this wide-legged forward fold. Now, if you can't reach the floor, that's no problem. You can always take a block, or if you have a book or a pillow underneath your hands, you can use that. Rather than coming all the way down, I want to place focus on lifting your sit bones up towards the sky so that we create space in the backs of our legs and hamstrings, and maintaining length in the spine. So you might be something like here today, you might be something like out here. Find a variation that works well from your body. And if you want to just take a look from the side, I'll come over here so that we can all see. Lengthen the spine, as we fold forward. Start to bring your fingertips closer to you if they aren't already there. You'll press into your finger pads now to lift your spine up, halfway lift, plugging the shoulders back and away from your ears here. And as you press into your feet, rise all the way back up to stand. So we're gonna do a second set of that fold, but this time we'll interlace our fingers behind our back body. Again, bringing the shoulders to soften. Bring your chest forward, and as you exhale, fold. And at the same time, your arms will start to pull up and away from your body, but just be very conscious here that you're keeping a slight bend at the elbows and a slight bend in the knees so that we avoid hyperextension. So you'll notice how as we hug the shoulder blades together, we're now creating more space in the chest and the front body. And at the same time, we're finding that opening in the backs of our legs. Maybe squeeze the palms closer together to find that deeper opening in the chest. And whenever you're ready, you can gently, slowly start to lower your palms back down to the earth. Take a deep bend in the knees. Press into your feet and slowly rise all the way back up as you sweep your arms out to the sides and back up, so you're creating a little starfish here. And take another breath, and as you exhale, fold back forward. Take a deep bend in the knees. Let your head hang. Press into your feet, slowly rise all the way back up. Expand out wide like a starfish. One more just like that, just so you can all see. I'll turn to the side, fold forward, deep bend in the knees. And your head hangs heavy. Press into your heels to lift. Sweep your arms out, up towards the sky. Take up space. Allow your eyes to soften as you hold here in this wide starfish shape. Back to prayer position in front of your chest, and bring your feet closer together. And we come back to our Tadasana, our mountain pose that we started with. Noticing again the rooting sensation in our feet, the lift through the crown of our head. Notice the difference that you feel in your body. Thank you all so much for tuning in and for joining me here. The light in me recognizes the light in you. Namaste.